In this video, I want to take you along with me on my first time visiting Dubai. I was recently there for 5 days, and I want to share with you some travel tips as well as my experience while I was there so that you can have an amazing trip if you're planning on visiting Dubai, and you can also avoid some of the mistakes that I made to make sure that your trip is as amazing as you plan for it to be. So I just arrived in Dubai from Bali. I'm going to be here for about a week. I'm at the airport, haven't seen anything yet, but just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be here for about a week, so get ready. I arrived at my apartment in downtown Dubai, and it is absolutely beautiful. And one of the main reasons that I booked this apartment is because of the balcony is very large and because of the view. Let me give you a look. So let me turn the camera around. It has an amazing view of the Burj Khalifa. Stunning. I cannot wait to see it at night. I'm about to head to a walking tour that I booked. It's a walking tour that has about 8 stops, including Old City Dubai, as well as some of the souks like the Gold Souk, the Spice Souk, and etc. I'm not going to be recording too much during the tour because it's a guided tour and I don't want to be talking while the tour guide is talking, but I will get some B-roll and I'm going to insert it right here. As promised, here is the beautiful view from my balcony in downtown Dubai of the Burj Khalifa at night, and it is absolutely stunning. I can see the light show, which I think takes place every 15 minutes, so it should be getting ready to start, but it's gorgeous. And again, this balcony is huge, so let me just walk over and show you how much of a view I have. And there's the light show. It's day 2 for me here in Dubai, and I am absolutely loving it. The city is super beautiful, very clean. The roads are super smooth. Dubai is just as beautiful, luxurious, and opulent as I heard that it was. It really lives up to the hype. I got to do a little more exploring yesterday after I left the walking tour. I went to Dubai Mall where I saw the water fountain show. And that's basically a choreographed water show that's in front of the Burj Khalifa and also near the Dubai Mall. It kind of reminds you a little bit, if you've ever been to Las Vegas, of the water show that's in front of the Bellagio. But the water show last night was spectacular. And today I'm going to get a workout in at the gym that's inside the apartment building that I'm staying at. And I'm going to take you all along with me on whatever else I decide to do today here in Dubai. It's day 4 for me here in Dubai, and so far I've been taking taxis everywhere, but today I decided to try the metro, so that's what I'm doing currently, and it's an interesting experience to say the least. But I'm going to give you my final verdict after I've completed my trip. So as I was saying, that was an interesting experience. It's really like what we consider or call the subway in the United States. So I had to take 2 trains. The first one was really hectic. A lot of people, super crowded, people shoving you and pushing you to get on and off the train. It was interesting, I'll say. Then the second line, the green line, was much calmer, and what I expected when I decided that I was going to try the train out. So I'm actually here now at my location. So yeah, just want to give an update. This is my first time on a quad bike in the desert in Dubai, and it is an amazing experience. It's so much fun. It's so cool, and if you're in Dubai, I highly recommend doing this while you're here. Let's get some views. I am back in Bali, and I'm going to finish off this Dubai video here as I walk along the beach. And one thing that a lot of people want to know is, when is the best time to visit Dubai? Dubai basically has two seasons, winter and summer. And the summer months, it gets extremely hot. I mean, over 100 degrees. And even a lot of the locals who live there will vacation somewhere else during this time to avoid the extreme temperatures. And the winter, oddly enough, I'm calling it winter because I guess for them it is winter. It's cooler than it normally is. For instance, the high could be in the 90s or high 80s. So you're still going to get warm temperatures, but just more bearable. And the summer months, where it is extremely too hot for a lot of people to visit, is June through September. And I went in October and it was perfect. So it was like the summer months were just ending, and the weather was great. Honestly, I had no issues. So I will plan to, if you are really sensitive to extreme heat, to avoid visiting from June to September. After that, I think you're fine. One of the other great things about Dubai is that it very rarely rains. So you don't have to worry about the weather when you're going. One of my drivers even shared with me that people get happy when it rains there. Imagine that, you know, someone getting happy when it rains. Most of the time you're checking the weather before you go on vacation to make sure that the rain is not going to ruin your vacation. That's something that you do not have to worry about if you're planning on visiting Dubai. So once you actually get to Dubai, you will not have any issue getting a taxi at the airport. There are literally hundreds of taxis, it seems like, lined up waiting to take you to your accommodations. However, I do suggest downloading Careem, which is a local app for transportation. You can also use Uber, but I did use Careem. And you can also get food deliveries, products delivered, and so forth on the Careem app. I highly recommend downloading it. However, one issue that I did encounter is that I did not download an eSIM for Dubai this time, because my cell phone coverage has some international coverage, and I thought that I would be fine with that, being that I was only going to be there for 5 full days. However, sometimes when I was booking taxis and I was not connected to Wi-Fi, they required an authentication or verification for my credit card, and it wouldn't go through because I didn't have a good signal. So I do recommend getting a eSIM for the amount of time that you're going to be there, just so that you don't have to worry about cell phone coverage. Also, I recommend getting some cash at the airport. I did not convert any currency at the airport because I knew that pretty much everywhere it accepted cards. I normally do get some cash because I like to have some cash on me for emergencies or whatnot. And I didn't do that this time, and I wish that I did. So I highly recommend converting some cash. The national language for the UAE is Arabic. However, English is widely spoken, so you don't have to worry about that if you're an English speaker. A lot of the menus and things are in both Arabic and English, so that's something that you do not have to worry about while you're there. Another point is where to stay when you're in Dubai. I recommend staying in the downtown area, especially if it's your first time visiting, because it's so central. So they have the downtown area. The Business Bay, which is right next to downtown, was another good area to stay in, as well as the marina. Also the Palm. So these are some areas that I suggest. And I think JBR is what it's called. Jumeirah Beach Residence is another good area. You want to make sure that you're somewhere accessible. So all of these areas that I named are that. So these are just some great areas that I think that you should consider if you're planning on visiting Dubai. There are so many things to do, and I shared some of them in this video. You could visit the Burj Khalifa, which I didn't do. I'm going to do the next time. I shared the view of it from my apartment balcony. However, I didn't go to the top floor, which is something that I plan on doing the next time. You could go on a desert safari, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The desert safari that I went on was a luxury desert safari, absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you, if you go to Dubai, do not skip doing a desert safari, and make sure that you add on the quad bike if it's not included in your safari, because riding the quad bike through the Dubai desert was phenomenal. It's something that I will never forget. It was spectacular. The views were truly amazing. Also, you could go shopping in some of the souks, which I did as well. They have the gold souk, the spice souk. Souk is just another word for market. So be mindful though when you visit here that these shop owners are in business. So they're gonna try to give you higher prices initially. Negotiate. Also, while you're out and about and you're taking pictures, be mindful that in Dubai, you actually cannot photograph people without their permission. So one of the gyms that I went to was a really, really luxurious gym, one of the most expensive gyms in Dubai. And the representative shared with me that people could actually bring a case against you if they are in your videos or pictures. So just be mindful of it. I don't think you need to be overly cautious about it, but just be mindful of it. Another tip, keep in mind that Dubai is an extremely conservative city and the UAE is a conservative country. So you want to dress modestly. If you're going to the gym or the beach, what you normally will wear is acceptable in those locations. However, not out of those locations. Funny story, I found a beauty supply store that sold hair products that I can't find here where I live in Bali, so I was excited. I went to the store and they were closed. And I found out that they were actually on a lunch break that was not listed on Google. So I had to wait for an hour and 30 minutes, I think it was, for them to come back from lunch. I had just finished working out. So I was planning on hopping out of the taxi, grabbing my beauty supplies and heading back to my apartment. However, because I had to wait, I was standing outside the store. And as I was standing outside the store, so many people were looking at me as they walked by. And I honestly just was like, okay, whatever, you know, it is what it is. Some of them were making comments. Some guys were like making the muscle gesture to signify that they could tell that I worked out. Some even stopped to ask me about different things about working out. And some of them even outright just said, nice body, this, that, the other. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I realized that for men, it's appropriate to cover your shoulders and to wear shorts that cover your knees. And I had on a tank top and my shorts were not covering my knees. I live in Bali where the fitness community here is really, really big. And it's a norm to walk around in tank top and shorts and so forth. But I do understand that it's not the same in all areas. I just didn't realize that what I had on would cause so much attention. So be mindful of that if you're out, to make sure that you're dressed modestly, especially if you're not on the beach or at the gym. And of course, you know, we cannot have a video on my channel without at least talking a little bit about business. That's what we do here. And Dubai is an amazing place for entrepreneurs, especially if you are a high net worth earner. And I say that because they have zero personal income tax. This could save you thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even more, depending on the size of your business. And this is just one of the tax benefits there. There are a lot. I may make a separate video about that specifically. But the fact that there's no personal income tax is a reason why a lot of entrepreneurs live in Dubai and have their businesses registered there. And it makes total sense. Again, this could save you a lot of money and help you accumulate wealth faster. So that's another reason to consider living in Dubai. One of the top reasons that so many people also love Dubai is because it's consistently rated one of the safest cities in the world. And that's amazing, especially considering that there's so many high net worth earners that live there. I mean, literally, when I was at the gym, people were getting dropped off and picked up in Rolls Royces. Also, you can walk around with your designer, your luxury bags, your luxury items, and it's just the norm there. So the fact that it's one of the safest cities in the world, considering these things, is absolutely amazing, and another reason why a lot of people move to Dubai. And I totally get it and I understand. Dubai is also a melting pot of so many cultures, and I believe the statistic is around 88 to 90% of the people who live in Dubai are not locals, are not from Dubai. Considering the fact that you have such a unique blend of people, you get exposure to a lot of different cultures, and the food is reflective of that and everything else. Do your research, figure out what you want to do, and book your activities in advance, because a lot of things do book up, especially if you're on a tight schedule. You don't want to fly all the way to Dubai and not be able to do the things that you want to do simply because you thought that they would be available and they end up not being. So schedule your activities in advance. Don't forget to have fun. Enjoy your trip. Enjoy your vacation in Dubai. There's so much to do, and budget for that, for whatever your lifestyle is. If you want to buy luxury goods, there are luxury goods to be bought. There are so many designer stores, watches, bags, jewelry, gold, whatever you want to buy, budget for that and enjoy your trip. Have fun. If you haven't already, I highly suggest adding Dubai to your list of places to visit. You will not regret it. It's such an amazing experience. It's so luxurious, it's so opulent. It's everything that I thought it would be, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm gonna go back again and visit and stay for longer because I was only there for 5 days. And for me, that's a short trip. I typically like to stay in places for about a month at least to get a feel of the place. And I do understand that this is not an option for everyone. So I do suggest, if you can, to stay for at least 5 days. And you can see a lot of the things that you want to see. In that 5 days, your itinerary is going to be jam-packed, but you can definitely do it. And at least 5 days is my suggestion for the amount of time to stay in Dubai. If you can stay longer, stay longer. There's so much to do, so many things that I didn't do. I'm filming this video on the beach. All the places that I've lived in outside of the country so far have been beach town, coastal cities, and I did not go to the beach in Dubai, so that's shocking for me. So definitely gonna do it on my next visit. If you don't know, I am a business coach. I work with men who are entrepreneurs and help them start, grow, and scale their businesses by removing personal and business blocks. If you're interested in thriving mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially, DM me on Instagram, is linked in the description, and we can start the conversation there. I think I covered all of the main questions that people may have about visiting Dubai. However, if there's something specific that I did not cover that you would like to know, comment below and I will respond in the comments to your question.